One day we were hiking along the various trails along the Oregon mountains and came upon this strange insect. It looked like a bee at first, but then it was furry. So we thought, well, it's a furry bee. But there's no such thing as a furry bee, so we came home and looked it up to see what it was. We discovered it was a bee fly. But unlike a typical bee, they only have 2 wings instead of 4. Large eyes and skinny long legs and a very short antenna. It turns out they're very good flyers and can hover in midair, move very fast and maneuver with great skill in the blink of an eye. These little bee flies have a long tongue which they use for probing into flowers to sip their nectar while hovering in front of them. They are just as efficient pollinators as bees, and they're frequent visitors, so overall they're probably good for the flowers. However, there's a dark side to this pollinator. Normal bees dig tunnels and lay their eggs at the bottoms after collecting enough pollen to feed the larvae. This requires numerous trips, and the bee fly takes advantage of this. When the mother's away, the bee fly lays its eggs in such nest, making use of its flying prowess. While in the bee's nest, it flicks its abdomen while hovering over the open burrow, letting one egg fall in near the nest. And the bee fly larva finds its way into the chamber where the mother bee has laid the provisions and eggs and proceeds to feed on the stored pollen. While the bee fly larva is growing, it devours the larva of the bee, and when it's fully grown, it pupates and stays inside the nest until next spring. Despite their appearance with their long tongue, bee flies don't sting people. As far as drinking, bee flies only drink nectar. Some bee flies are quite small, and their immature stages are unknown. Many species, including the largest and most showy, are tropical, and they live in temperate regions, and they can grow in lengths of more than 1 centimeter. As you may have noticed, the bee fly colors are well adapted to this Chihuahuan desert and match the flowers that grow in the area during this time of year. Many creatures are beautiful in their own way, great and small. Sometimes you just have to stop and take a closer look at things. I would consider the bee fly to be one of the more interesting insects in our area.